Tintin XL 92.5 FM.
All right. Welcome aboard. The new drug today is one game in the books. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you. Last year, after a few preseason games, we were making plans for the parade. This year, are you planning to win no games? Are you concerned? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't it wasn't great Saturday night, but I'm glad. I'm more encouraged by how Liam Cohen has responded to it than I am by how disappointing. Not all of it was bad, but certainly the pass defense was atrocious. So I like the response. I would have been more nervous and concerned about it if Liam Cohen today was kind of brushed it aside. But I mean, I thought today's practice was an indictment of where he thinks these players are. I mean, it was basically we're going back to day one. You guys don't get to throw the football today. You guys don't get to run the football today. You guys don't get to defend anything. We are literally going to just have a significant period where we're just literally going to call the play and snap the ball. And then we're going to go on to the next play and do that and make sure that our communication is where it needs to be. And that was on both sides of the ball. I mean, I thought he was right. I thought Trevor Lawrence dawdled to the line on the first snap of the game, which led to Anton Harrison false starting. Now, Harrison needs to be more locked in. It's his penalty. But I could see why it happened. And some of that was, and again, it's just, they just have to go through it. I mean, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen, all throughout the regular season. But it was a mistake, and it was something that I thought Liam Cohen today was like, all right, if that's what is going to be put out there, then we're taking this back to square one, at least for a day.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You know the narrative. Win, lose, whatever. It's hard to get too caught up in terms of starters when there's one series by each group. There's one. Each group played one series, so it's hard to know your team, whether it's the good or the bad. The only thing I think I definitely know is the kicker's got a strong leg. Okay, I'm going to go with that.
That's what we learned.
I'm going to go with that.
Yes.
Or that's what we had reaffirmed for us.
Yes. Certainly we knew he had a good leg.
Yeah.
We did not know he had arguably the best leg in NFL history.
I'll give Lagerman credit on our broadcast. For people that heard the broadcast, so the Jags get the ball back with, 19 seconds or whatever. And there's 12 seconds on their own 20 or whatever the hell it was. So Jeff Lagerman goes, here's what you do. And then I think it was like 6 seconds. It's 6 seconds in wherever they were, minus territory. Jeff goes, throw a quick pass, give yourself up, and kick a long field goal. I'm like, Jeff, there's 6 seconds, bro. It's a preseason game, okay? Take a knee and let's get to the locker room. He said, no. To throw a pass, give yourself up, kick the long field goal. They threw a pass, give themselves up. They put 1 second on the clock. I'm laughing at the fact that they're trying the 70-yarder. Lagerman, to his credit, who knows way more football than me, said, Frank, I saw him hit a 72-yarder in practice. Did you know that?
No.
Jeff said he had a 72-yarder in practice. And he said that on the broadcast. I'm like, he did? And he said, yeah. I mean, I thought I've been at every moment of every practice. But
it must have been like maybe it was in the indoor or something.
Yeah. So he had a 72. I said, okay. So Jeff said, no, I think they're lining up. So as he's getting lined up, then I'm starting to think, we've seen him. I know a lot of times in practice we've seen him hit 62, 63, and they go into the net. So he probably does have the leg. And so by the time they do it, and we'll hopefully play the call for you tonight, we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe that he drilled this 70-yard field goal. And so
none of us could. I mean, in the press box, it was, where you obviously, as you know, cheering is not accepted.
Right.
And I don't know that it was cheering, but there was a clear,
I'll bet.
Oh my gosh, he just made a 70-yard field goal.
It was amazing.
I mean, everybody was just, it was a bunch of people and, whatever sound you would make when you're amazed by something.
So the story, and I know Liam talked about it again today, and like Trevor said afterwards, we're certainly not going to be a team now that's trying to set up 70-yard field goals, but it does move the target line back if you're at the end of a half or end of a game. And I do wonder, I really do wonder, because he's also so dang accurate. He was 27 of 29 last year in field goal, so he's never missed an extra point. So he's obviously really, and in addition to having a big leg, he's obviously really, really accurate. So it does make you wonder now, Liam Cohen, first-time head coach, I mean, realistically, you can have the ball at your own 47-yard line or your own 48-yard line, and you're in field goal range. I mean, think about that for a second. Your own 48, think about that. Your own 48, you're in field goal range.
Yeah, so
minus 48.
So if the opponent elects, if they're kicking off and they elect to kick the ball out of the end zone,
you start at the 35.
You're starting at the 35, you get 13 yards.
You're 13 yards.
And you're in scoring position.
You're 13 yards from scoring position. I mean, think about that. And I'll tell you something else that'll come out of that, too, out of that kick, is Jaguars players, whether we like it or not, Jaguars players have a hard time getting national acclaim. We've had the conversation the whole time Tony Baselli was trying to get into the Hall of Fame, or we hope Tony Baselli would get into the Hall of Fame. We've had the same conversation as we hope Fred Taylor gets into the Hall of Fame. We know Jacksonville players, size of the market, lack of success to the franchise, on, don't get the national acclaim others do. It took Brian Thomas Jr. forever last year. Now his season started taking off mid-year. I know that. But it still took a while before no one was mentioning him in the same breath with Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson or whoever, right? So it takes a while. Now, Cam Little's on the map. For better or worse, Cam Little's on the map now. I promise you, the talk shows in Green Bay and Milwaukee now know who Cam Little is. And so that's kind of cool. You know, I mean, because for a kicker to something's got to happen for a kicker to get on the map. Well, here's how you do it. Kick a 70-yarder. I can tell you this. I had no idea, and I'm not a fantasy player. And does the fantasy have kicking?
It does.
Okay, so I'm not a fantasy player, but I wouldn't have known who Brandon Aubrey was. I can tell you, I would have had no idea who Brandon Aubrey was before last year. I had no idea. Okay, and then for people that don't know, he is the cannon-legged kicker of the Cowboys, who probably has the second best leg in the league, right? And so now I think even casual football fans kind of know who Brandon Aubrey is, right? Because he kicks these long field goals, and so I think people will now know who Cam Little is.
Yeah, I think so too. And Cam Little was hilarious in how he handled it.
He was funny.
So I mean, he's also very likable.
Yeah, he's really been that good.
All 172 pounds of him. He's just he's extraordinary in terms of his talent, and that certainly could be the difference for this club if they end up being what we think, a team that's going to be in a ton of close games, all year long. Then Cam Little can certainly make a big difference for them. It will really be interesting for Liam. He talked a little bit about it today, but when you are in those decisions, when you're around, between the 40s, like, how do you handle that? Because you've got, obviously you want to be aggressive and go for it on fourth down. You want to keep your offense out there if you feel good about it, but you also have a punter that routinely puts the opponent inside the 5. And now you've got this kicker that has range up to 72 yards, because the one that he made the other night, it didn't just barely go over.
Correct.
I mean, he would have been good from 72.
Right.
So, I mean, with that in mind, it's a good problem to have, but it will be fun to see Liam Cohen in game wrestle with those decisions. A lot of it will probably depend on the opponent and how good the opponent's offense is. Do I need to score 17 points today, or do I need to score 31 points today? But it gives this team a lot of attractive options on decisions that largely will decide NFL games because of how important field position is.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to track all of us. All right, so we got a lot to talk about today on the program. We'll come back. We'll give you our thoughts in the scrimmage. I'll give you some detailed thoughts, the good and the bad of what I saw in the scrimmage, what I liked, what concerned me. We'll certainly do that. In this first segment, I want you to hear from Bashul Tuten. Hayes caught up with him right after the game, what the game was like for him. I want to talk about that running back room a little bit. I think it's one of the most interesting storylines of the team. Later on in the first hour, you're also going to hear from Robert Hainsey. He's the Jaguars center. So a lot of Jaguars talk in the first hour of the program. Other things we'll get to. The Gators 15th in the first AP poll. Is that right? Is it high? Is it low? Is it right? I was watching the FedEx St. Jude. And again, I think more people are talking about Tommy Fleetwood than are just Justin Rose. When more people are talking about once again, and I will. Did you watch?
Oh yeah.
And he's at 16. He had a 2-shot lead, and I didn't think he was going to win. Did you go through? I didn't think he was going to win.
No, I mean,
I didn't know if it was going to be Spawn. I didn't know if it was going to be Scheffler, who's always in the mix, but I didn't think it was going to be Fleetwood.
Yeah, I mean, Fleetwood drains brilliant putts on 12 and 13, particularly 12.
Yeah,
but
after struggling earlier in the round.
Right, and at that point, it's like, you would think, okay, now he can cruise in. But I was like, there's way too much golf left. I mean, for him.
Right.
And
right.
it's just so sad Because it's a total yips.
Well,
I mean, you can tell it's not like if it wasn't a hard course yesterday. All the players that were around him were making birdies or pars. I mean, he couldn't hold the green on a chip.
Well,
I mean, it's sad because it is, you can tell.
Right.
It's bothering him.
When I really could tell was the putt on 17. He didn't even have a chance.
Oh, he didn't. The one he came right up on.
Yeah. I mean,
just
the
stood
minute,
straight up on
the minute he hit it.
Right.
He stood. The minute it hit his club, he stood up and goes, "You got to be kidding!" I could see it.
Yeah.
So that was the most telling of that was. And again, if you've played sports, you know the moment. If you're a golfer, we hack golfers. We normal 10, 12 high handicap, whatever we are. We all have those moments. A putt you got to make that the minute you hit it, you knew you should have backed away from it. But those guys don't have that. They don't have that moment. And the other thing I'll say about that, Fleetwood notwithstanding, what incredible theater between Rose and Spawn.
It was awesome.
I mean, what incredible. I mean, you have to love golf, I guess, but gosh almighty, I didn't want either one of them to ever miss. Were you rooting for more holes and more holes and more holes and more holes?
By the time it, because once you're like changing the pen, like once we've gotten to that point where they're having to change the pen placement on 18, at that point I'm like, somebody get us out of here.
I wanted to see. I wanted to see Spawn make that one too, and let's keep going.
But I give Spawn a ton of credit as well. What a year he's had.
What a year!
I mean, this is the equivalent of like what Geno Smith has done,
Agreed.
Rich Gannon back in the day, like that quarterback that never does anything for 7 years and everybody's forgotten about, and then all of a sudden puts it together, and JJ Spawn with just an unbelievable year. But yeah, Justin Rose, what a great story. 45 years old and great, just sensational.
And great theater on a Sunday afternoon. A lot of things to talk about. Glad you're with us on a Monday. Our Mondays are always brought to you by The Best Bet. The best place to have a big time in Jacksonville, I promise you, is The Best Bet. Head to The Best Bet. All kind of fun stuff going on there. 3 great locations, St. Augustine, Jacksonville, and Orange Park. We'll talk some Jaguars after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room, unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Oh, interest rates. They're high everywhere, aren't they? Not at Beard's Diamonds right now. They've lowered finance rates all the way down to 0. Hey, Hicken here. That's right. Now Beard's Diamonds pay 0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. So that $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. Man, this amazing offer makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, $100 a month? How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings? $50 a month. It's insane. Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 down and 0 interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let the non-commission experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. I'm talking Beards Diamonds. I'm talking in the St. John's Town Center. This amazing offer ends August 31st. Shop local. Shop Beards.
This is Hayes Carlyon for Harold and Harold. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harold and Harold. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold and Harold at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's most interesting option. 1010XL's Media Mogul Hicken here. Watch for Musing with the Media Mogul on YouTube and Facebook. Made possible by Tucker Equipment Rentals in Neptune Beach.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, it's Joe C. Summer in Jacksonville means the sun is hot, the grills are fired up, and your water heater probably full of sludge.
Nah, not mine.
Think, when was the last time you flushed your water heater out? It's okay, you could say it.
Probably never.
Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan.
They sure don't make them like they used to.
So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059 or at plumberandjacks.com. Roland Reese Plumbing.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
I'm Frank Frangie. I told you my daughter Amber has tried Awaken 180. Man, has it worked. You ready for this? After 3 weeks and change, she's lost 22.5 pounds. You should give it a try. 844-346-1800 or visit awaken180weightloss.com.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at goosehead.com.
Want your son or daughter to enjoy sports year-round? Then log on to I-9 Sports with fall and winter registration open right now, including girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Cook puts it down. Little's kick is up. The 70-yard field goal is good! Yeah! He just made a 70-yarder! He ended the half on a 70-yard field goal! How good is that?
That's good, Frank. That is good. You are right. That's incredibly good.
How about that? 70 yards.
Quite a kick.
I couldn't believe it. As you can tell, we couldn't really... Didn't believe it. I do want to thank our friends from the Best Bet. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. The Summer Swing Series kicks off this week at Best Bet Orange Park with a $200 no-limit hold'em tournament. 6 flights starting Thursday. The final days play out on Sunday the 17th. You ready for this? With a $100,000 guarantee. Head to the Best Bet. That's Best Bet Orange Park. All kind of fun stuff going on at the Best Bet. As always, we're going to hear from Bashul Tuten in a minute. You caught up with him after the game. All right, a handful of things that stood out to me. I think the offense is going to be fine. You made a good point, and so did Liam today, about Trevor getting out of the huddle a little late. It affected Anton Harrison. It was a little clunky. I'm concerned about the penalties. There were too many penalties. I thought overall, offensively and defensively, too sloppy, even though it was the first game. I love the jet sweep to De'Ami Brown. I think that's a sign that he's got some creative stuff, not just jet sweeps. But it was 4th and a yard. He only wanted the offense to play, the starters to play one series. So how do you ensure that you make sure you get to play one series? Well, you got one play, they're not going to stop because no one's expecting a jet sweep on the first series of the first preseason game. So I like that. I like the creativity. I thought the ball to Brian Thomas Jr., it was interesting. Liam made an interesting point today. He said, first of all, it was a bad play call. So he put it on himself. You heard him today in his presser. He said it was a bad play call. But that's a ball Trevor's got to read the safety and not throw. You're going to get you guys' head knocked off a little bit there. But Trevor was 7 out of 8. I think was a 7 out of 8, 6 out of 7.
Sounds right.
So I thought Trevor was sharp, and I thought I didn't see anything offensively I didn't like. I thought a few of the penalties bothered me, but I thought offensively, I think offensively what I saw, first time together, they only played one series together. I thought I liked what I saw. Like everybody else, the Steelers played their first team line, but they didn't play their first team skill guys. And I know the Jags were very vanilla. And in fairness to them, they were vanilla. There were no blitzing, there was no stacking, there was no twists in games. But I did think Mason Rudolph had a lot of time to throw. I thought Mason Rudolph was very comfortable in the pocket, more comfortable than you would like to see him against the number one defense. So if there's, and again, I'm not going to overreact to it. It was one series. Okay, the defense, the starters played one series, but we're a talk show. You got to assess what you saw. That we're paid to assess what we saw, and if I'm assessing what I saw from the first team, I think I was concerned at the amount of time in the pocket for Mason Rudolph. And one of the reasons, Hayes, I am concerned is the one area of the team that concerns me is the defensive tackle spot. I thought they played well against the run. I thought they stuffed the run, but the Steelers weren't playing their running back. So it's hard to tell a whole lot. My guess is this. My guess is this week against New Orleans, and I don't know this, will be the most we see the starters anytime in the preseason. The first game we saw in one series each. The last game, if there's a joint, because there's a joint practice. Now there's not two, but because there's a joint practice, which will be, I would think, a very robust practice that Thursday against the Dolphins, I wouldn't think you're going to see the starters at all in that game. So meaning, if you're really going to let them get into a rhythm and get lathered up a bit, it would be this game against New Orleans. So my guess is, and I'm guessing, but I would guess against New Orleans, you're probably going to see a quarter, maybe a quarter and some change from the starters. So I thought the offense looked fine. I thought Trevor was accurate. That I liked. I thought there was a rhythm to the offense. They weren't there very long. I was concerned that Mason Rudolph, truly a backup, and for that matter, Skylar Thompson after him, had that much time to throw. Again, it's a very small sample size, but if I'm telling you what I liked and what I didn't like, that's what concerned me.
Yeah, I like Tuten. I thought his touchdown run really displayed what kind of an all-around back he can be, because we know about the speed. I mean, we know he's 4'3", but to see him stand up a linebacker at the 4, and then obviously he got help. Ricky Lee did an outstanding job assisting there and aiding Tuten, but to keep his legs moving and score there, I was impressed with Tuten. I mean, the first team offense, you go down and get a field goal. It was fine. That would be, I'd say, I'd give a passing grade to, nothing dazzling, but defensively, it's a concern, but we're so far away from being able to make any kind of verdict on Campanile or any of this stuff. Like, you would have liked it to have been better for sure. I mean, the Steeler quarterbacks were like 29 to 38 for 317, 4 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, obviously that's horrendous. But again, it's hard to put a lot of stock in it. Just like if they had been fantastic, if they'd had 5 sacks and forced, like, I'm not talking about the starters, but just in a general.
That's right.
If the defense had hit a lot of big plays, then it'd be hard to sit here today and say they're going to be a top defense in the NFL. We just haven't. We've read like 2 sentences of the book. So it's just really hard to make any sort of judgments. It's got to be better. And again, to me, it was more about how will they respond? How will Liam Cohen respond with how he treats this? And I think he treated it well. Maybe he got up in front of them and screamed, but I doubt it in this day and age. That just doesn't seem to resonate with athletes anymore. But what might resonate is kind of saying, all right, we're going to go back to square one. If that's what we're going to put out there, then, and in fairness, he did it on both sides of the ball, because there were things offensively, communication-wise, that he wanted to sharpen up. So the message, I think, got sent, but it got sent in a very 2025 way of sending it to professional athletes, which I admire about Liam Cohen.
I like, too, that he was very transparent in his presser. He said, listen, now a very big practice will be the Thursday scrimmage. They were just, like you said, they were just in no pads today. They will be in pads tomorrow. Then they're taking Wednesday off. The player's not even in the building on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, it seems like a real scrimmage. Remember, they don't play till Sunday. But they're going to scrimmage on Thursday, and I got a hunch some decisions will be made on Thursday's a big practice. Did you get that sense today?
I did get that sense, and yeah. I would almost lean towards, I think if he sees what he wants to see Thursday,
I hear you.
They don't play Sunday.
Would not shock me, Hayes. Would not. I was convinced Sunday's the day they would play until he talked about, and I still think they're going to play. But I hear you. It's on you. If it's a real physical, tough long scrimmage. Do you put him out there in a physical setting 3 days later? You might be right.
With having to, not that it's that far of a trip, but you do have to fly to New Orleans.
Yeah,
so you've got, that disruption. So I would think if Thursday feels like even a sliver of that mock game,
you might not see him at all.
I would think you don't see him at all.
I think that's a possibility. Logic would tell you if there's a scrimmage Thursday, not playing him at all, at least it's on the table. To your point, logic would tell you that. So we'll see. But I like some things I saw, and I'm certainly not panicked about anything we didn't see. But it'll be fun to watch it as it continues along. The running back room is really interesting. It's in my mind, a really interesting running back room. 4 drafted players. 2 have had successful moments in Jacksonville, in Travis Etienne, Tank Bigsby, drafted by another regime. 2 players drafted by this regime that everybody likes. I think all 4 are going to be on the football team. I'd be surprised if they're not. And Bashul Tuten might have the biggest upside of any of them. Even though he was drafted lower than 2 of them, he may have the biggest upside of any of these guys. We saw him grind and keep those legs moving and pull. He had some help from the offensive line, but he carried some defenders into the end zone. He's the fastest one. He was the fastest running back at the combine. He also is physical. He also has some wiggle. Everybody is very intrigued. I say everybody. Many are very intrigued with what to expect from Bashul Tuten. And Hayes caught up with him after the ballgame.
All right, we're pleased to be joined with Jaguars running back Bashul Tuten here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And yourself?
I'm doing great. What was your first NFL game like?
It was fun. It's been a while since I played ball, so just going out there and, just having fun on the field, playing with the team was awesome.
Amazing touchdown run there, the 8-yarder. Walk us through what happened on that play.
Our average play, I think it was just a grit and a fight. From me and the O-line, they pushed me in when I got kind of stuck, so I definitely do appreciate them. Just a routine play, just making a play.
How much fun will that one be to go watch on film with your teammates?
It'll be fun for the, first career touchdown. That was a pretty good one.
Well, you put a good lick on the linebacker that came up, so you kind of got it started. When you popped him, did you feel like the momentum was there, that if you got a push from behind, you were going to get some more yardage there?
Yeah, I definitely knew it. That's why I kept my feet moving. I know I had a good surge on that linebacker, so I knew the big boys was coming, but I had to keep my feet going.
Bashul, what's your comfort level? We're pretty far into training camp now. We've got one preseason game out of the way. What's your comfort level with the offense?
I feel pretty good behind it. Still learning, still expanding. So just coming in day by day, I feel pretty confident in it. So, just keep stacking.
What was it like on the sideline seeing Cam Little hit a 70-yard field goal?
Electric. That's the main thing I'll say. Sideline was enthused. We were all jumping around, storming the field. So just seeing that, he put a lot of hard work in. He takes pride in that. So just seeing him knock out a 70-yarder, unbelievable. So I'm proud of him.
What was it like playing in front of these fans?
Amazing. First NFL game, I think, the stadium was pretty packed. Had some great support out there. So just, looking forward to it for the rest of the season.
What will you do tonight? Is there anybody that you'll celebrate or look forward to talking to your touchdown about family-wise?
Pretty much just my parents, my intermediate family. I talk to after every game. So, just having our routine conversations after each game, I just always look forward to.
Bashul Tuten, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good kid, and that was quite a run. I mean, again, that is the kind of stuff that the offensive group, when they meet as a unit, and certainly the running backs room and the offensive line room, that's one that you're showing, because that's what you want Jaguars football to look like. That ball should have been dead at the 4, but because of Bashul churning the legs, because of Ricky Lee and others, helping, seeing that there was a stalemate there, and how can we help this along, for that ball to end up in the end zone, that is where this organization needs to get to. That is the singular image of where Jaguars football needs to get to. They're a long way from it, but at least you got a glimpse of it the other night.
That's well said, Hayes, and he's a good back. I mean, the bottom line, he's guy's a good back. There's no question about it. Let's take a break. I want you to hear from a member of the offensive line as well. Hayes has been yeoman's work as always. I appreciate you tracking all these guys down. When we come back from the break, Robert Hainsey, a gigantic part of this offense for so many reasons, is the subject of the latest Hayes one-on-one. We'll do that after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, folks. I'm Frank Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Frank Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Football season is here, so I've got to get organized. Lauren Brooks here. Closets by Design creates custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms or entertainment centers, wherever that clutter has taken over. Call today to schedule a free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off with free installation. Yes, that's 40% off plus an additional 15% off this month only. Call 904-878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at stanleypoolsfl.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Hi, it's Frank Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval, and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
I just swallowed a Lance malt cracker, peanut butter cracker.
You're a good American.
I didn't know we were coming back, so I did as fast as you could.
Yeah.
JJ, you know our friend Scott Manzi, right? You know Scott.
Of course. JU's finest.
When Scott would produce the show, I would purposely eat a granola bar right before I come back, and it would drive him just crazy.
Really?
It would just drive him crazy. He almost left the business because he would. He said, "Why are you always eating right when we come back?" It's just to bug you. I ate a granola one bite. Ask Scott sometime next time.
Yeah.
One bite of a granola bar right before we would we would come back. The Jaguars, one game in the books. Hayes made a really good point last segment, which makes some sense. If they have a real scrimmage that Liam talked about 2 or 3 times now at his presser today, do you see enough that you don't even put them out there? I think they're going to play against New Orleans regardless. I thought about it during the break after you said it, but I hear you. If you hit a lot tomorrow, do you really turn around and hit? Your point is, do you hit 3 days later? That's the question, and maybe the answer is maybe you don't.
Yeah, because I would think tomorrow is going to be.
I say tomorrow. I meant Thursday.
But even incorporating Tuesday into it, so Tuesday we know
is padded, is
going to be physical. Wednesday they're off. Thursday we know is going to be physical. So that's 2 days with your starters getting a lot of contact, and then Friday will be light. Saturday you're flying, and then playing Sunday.
I hear you.
I don't think that is again. We'll see, and it'll be interesting to see how Liam Cohen wants to handle it, and a lot of it will probably be on how good they look Thursday. If they haven't cleaned up the stuff that he wants cleaned up, he'll probably play him. But as we get further into training camp, you're seeing injuries, as you always do, become more of a factor and seeing some clubs get affected. The Eagles had quite a scare with Landon Dickerson. Now it appears like he is going to be okay. He's going to have meniscus surgery, but they thought they might have lost him for the year. Now it looks like there's a chance he might be available even for the season opener. We've seen Rashawn Slater. We've seen some other things going on with maybe not top 5 players on their rosters, but good, decent players that have sustained significant injuries in camp. I think the closer you get to the opener as a head coach, that really starts to weigh on you a little bit more. And so if they're going to be physical Tuesday, physical Thursday, I'd be surprised if they're live playing in a game Sunday on the road.
The talk about being physical, one of the most important things was making the offensive line more physical. That was a narrative and a talking point the entire offseason. Nobody more important to that effort and that initiative than the brand new center, Robert Hainsey. He came with Liam Cohen from Tampa Bay, a tough, hard-nosed guy, and the subject of this Hayes Carlyon one-on-one.
Now, Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors takes you in the locker room.
We're pleased to be joined with Jaguars center Robert Hainsey here on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Man, it's great to see you. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you enjoying Jacksonville so far?
It's been great. It's been really great so far.
You obviously offensively got a field goal against the Steelers. How did you feel like that went for that first series?
I think we put some good stuff on tape. I think we had enough mistakes that we got to clean up too. You always want it to feel super crisp, super clean, but first time getting out there in a quote-unquote game setting as a group, I'm happy with the good things we did and decided to correct the things we can do better.
And it seemed like that started today. What kind of work did you guys get out there today, Robert, at practice?
It was great. Come back, see what you need to work on, and try to focus on those things. So there's a little bit of a shorter day, so tempo's down a little bit. So technique you try to bring up. You try to focus on the assignments, alignments, make sure those things are dialed because you can't snap the ball without them. So, yeah.
Liam told us a really cool story about that you came up to him and were like, hey, what are we doing, for the game? We want to play. Why was that important for you?
Yeah, I was asking him what we were doing, and he asked what I thought, and I said, yeah, I think we should play some, like the first time together, just because we haven't played together as a unit. That was the biggest thing. It's a little bit, no matter how much you practice, it's a little bit different, even in the preseason, to put your game clothes on and go out there, go through a game warm-up. It's a little bit different. So you want to have those reps in before week one. That was the main reason.
And it seemed like everybody really appreciated it. Is that leadership component, is that something that you're looking to add to this organization?
I'm just trying to be myself, do whatever's best for the team.
In terms of Liam, obviously your familiarity with him, what's it been like seeing him go from offensive coordinator to head coach?
Very cool. He's done a great job, I think, in that transition. I think he's really being himself and leading the group. It's been fun to watch. Having a previous relationship with him and then him being my head coach now is cool. To have that close of a relationship with your head coach, that's a little bit different for probably most guys, I think. So I'm grateful for that relationship we have and that he's always willing to listen and hear me out.
What makes his ground game approach so effective?
I think he does a really good job at doing what we're good at. So they're going to have a plan going into the season. if we're better at certain things, they're gonna lean on those things. They're gonna let us do what we do well.
In terms of looking at some guys around you, Chuma Edoga is like you, first-year Jaguar. Really seems like he's had a great camp. What's it been like getting to know Chuma, and what's it been like playing right next to him?
Yeah, Chuma's been doing great. He's been awesome, great teammate. I think we've all been improving together. So got to play next to him a good bit with Pat being out too, and guys have been moving around, but that's good. Have guys play multiple positions. We have a ton of depth, so he's done a really good job.
What's been your impressions of Trevor Lawrence?
He's great, leader, great teammate. Commanding in the huddle, but been really fun to get to know him.
And Robert, it seems like you guys have a really good amount of backs. Etienne, Bigsby, some nice rookies. What's been your impression of the running backs?
They've been outstanding. I mean, they run hard. They're taken to the scheme. They're doing a really good job. So it's been awesome.
What do you try and get out of this week? Is now we're still not quite a month away, but still pretty far away out from Carolina. What do you try and get out of this week before Sunday's game in New Orleans?
One day at a time. Just getting better, improving on whatever we can improve on. Pick your techniques, your fundamentals, and the things as a team, and just keep trying to one step at a time.
What are sort of the technique things that you're honing in on as an individual?
Oh, I mean, there's new stuff every day. Feet, hands, eyes, calls, communication. There's all kind of things.
Robert Hainsey, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate Robert's time. And again, we knew that leadership was in short supply, particularly on the offensive side of things. And I thought it was really encouraging when Liam shared that it was Robert Hainsey that sort of asked him, I think he said Tuesday before the Steelers game, hey, what are we doing? And Liam was like, kind of going back and forth with it. And he was like, well, I think we should play. And they need that. And so, what kind of player is Robert Hainsey in this league? Can he become an upper echelon starter? That's very much in doubt. But in terms of somebody that brings the right mental approach to the offense, and obviously his familiarity with already working under Liam Cohen, like that should pay immediate dividends for this team. And Robert Hainsey can start to build a culture that hopefully, if Liam Cohen is the right guy and he's the coach here for the next 12 years, Robert Hainsey will be somebody that helped plant the seed of what the offensive line room is, how they're supposed to think and go about their business. And so, obviously you think he's going to help him as a player, but his greatest contribution just may be how he approaches things.
We'll take a break. We'll talk some more NFL right after this on a Best Bet Monday. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's hard to explain, but play-by-play just sounds better on the radio.
What a turn of events!
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
Tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. It's Renewal by Anderson's triple savings month. Get $300 off windows and $825 off patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Give us your hot take.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
On the 1010XL text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm awake and I speak English, so yeah, I do know what you're saying.
Be part of the conversation. 641-1010.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Circa Resort and Casino has 2 epic pro football contests, Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Circa Million, pick 5 games weekly against the spread for $1 million grand prize. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week, no spread. Last one standing wins $15 million. Enter at any Circa in Nevada, play anywhere. Sign up for either and get 50% off a 2-night stay. Helmets and Heels will be live from Circa in Vegas on August 22nd. Full contest details at circasports.com and the 1010XL homepage.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
If you've been in a big truck accident, you need a lawyer that specializes in big trucks. A lawyer who knows all the federal traffic rules that can affect your case.
And who can navigate the complex web of laws dealing with the trucking company, the leasing company, the shipper, and all the other details that can complicate your case.
At Farah & Farah, we've seen it all, and we're ready to go the long haul to fight for you. Jacksonville.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Bari here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Bari Orthopedics today or visit bariorthopedics.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com. It's only one game. There was a lot not to like. I get that. But I thought Trevor Lawrence looked comfortable. Part of that is I see every practice. I see every play in practice. And I think there's a level of comfort when I see him in this new offense, the detail of this offense, the players around him. Trevor Lawrence was 6 out of 7 in the game. He made the one bad throw to Brian Thomas Jr. over the middle. And that throw wasn't inaccurate. He just let it go when Brian Thomas Jr. was covered and the safety could close on him and lay a little bit of a lick on him. But other than that, so far, so good. One quick little series for Trevor Lawrence, and I liked what I saw, and that's the 10-10 take.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. I mean, it's, again, you're seeing growth and things like that. And, again, you know, obviously the false start to start the game is, you know, you don't ever want to see that. But they were able to get out of a bad down and distance situation, get the first down, and get a field goal. So, I feel like had they gone back out there, it was getting ready to be a touchdown. That was sort of how it felt. So yeah, I thought it was a good first step for Trevor, and hopefully it'll continue.
You saw the quarterbacks around the league. Everybody made a big deal of Shedeur Sanders. I think he's going in the Hall after his one performance. I think at least in the
I will say I was impressed.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame, but yeah. I thought it was. If I was Cleveland, it'd be hard for me to start Joe Flacco over that.
Yeah, I saw. I may need to see a little bit more, but I thought he looked good too. But I also thought Jackson Dart looked really good.
Absolutely.
And nobody has mentioned it.
Yeah. That touchdown throw was sensational.
Kyle Trask looked good. What happens with Trask? I mean, they brought in Bridgewater. Okay, so Trask is available. Trask looked really good in that game. Trask, people forget, was a really good college quarterback playing at the highest level of college football. Do they trade him? Does he wind up somewhere else?
I don't think.
Could he wind up here?
I wouldn't. Kyle Trask?
Yeah.
Like in the next few weeks?
Yeah, as a backup.
I wouldn't think.
Well, and again, they may have their backup here. Nick Mullins may be fine as their backup, but I mean, is Kyle Trask a guy? Does he wind up somewhere else where they need a backup?
I would think Tampa keeps him. And
3 quarterbacks?
That would be my guess. And after this season, he's a free agent and moves on. I mean, assuming, Mayfield goes wire to wire.
Right.
Obviously, if Mayfield gets hurt and Trask gives a chance to play and plays well, then it things change. But on the current trajectory, I would say Kyle Trask probably doesn't take a meaningful snap this fall, but
is a free agent. Does he suddenly become the third guy?
I would think, because why would you sign Bridgewater? Is absolutely the backup.
Then why? Of course, you don't sign Bridgewater to be the third guy.
Yeah.
If you bring in 32-year-old Teddy Bridgewater, that's insurance in case Baker Mayfield gets hurt. You think you got a pretty good team. You want to, and you've won the division a couple years in a row. You want to bring in a guy. You want to bring in some insurance because you think you might have a pretty good season coming.
Yeah, so I would think with Trask, I mean, they could keep 3. I mean, they did invest a second-round pick in him, so it would make some sense maybe to be like, well, he's, we've got him under contract for 1 more year.
If the Saints needed a starter and wanted him.
Which they do.
Yeah, and I don't know if they even know.
Yeah.
If the Saints needed a starter and liked him, let's assume they like him. A 5th? What would you get?
For Trask?
Yeah.
At best.
At best, yeah, I would say at best. And I'm just saying, he looked pretty good. Now, it's his first preseason game against a bunch of backups.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, like, in terms of, like, the quarterback trade market, I would think he's going to be pretty far down on that list. Like, if there's a massive injury to a starter, everyone's calling Atlanta for Cousins.
That's right.
I would think, for the
obviously,
most part.
right.
I would think once you get beyond that, then you're going to have, like, would somebody call the Chiefs for Minshew? Like, I could see that. Like, I would think Tampa's phone is not going to be ringing for Kyle Trask. Now, maybe once he hits the market and admire, kind of like the De'Ami Brown, James Gladstone thing, maybe there'll be a GM that really liked him coming out of Florida and will bring him in on obviously a very low deal. It's somebody that can compete for the backup spot, and then maybe that's able to lead to something for him down the line. But the dominoes have just never really fallen for Kyle Trask in terms of getting a chance.
So J.J. McCarthy has looked good. Shedeur Sanders, small sample size, but I agree with you, looked good. Jackson Dart, I thought, looked really good. I wonder if J.J. McCarthy is starting, by the way. I wonder if we're going to see this all of a sudden emergence of all the young quarterbacks that you kind of watched in college. It has a little bit of that feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And next year it'll be the same thing. My guess is next year's draft will produce 3 week 1 starters.
I'll bet you.
For their respective clubs. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. No one wants to wait. You'll have a Baker Mayfield, a Sam Darnold that's able to resurrect their career somewhere else and turn the narrative of being a draft bust. But, again, like, look at Anthony Richardson. I mean, this is clearly his last year in Indianapolis. I mean, I say that. High probability that this is his last year. You're going to get about a 2-year window. And in those 2 years, if you haven't shown, particularly if you've gotten several chances in those 2 years, that's it. Teams are going to move off of you. And again, the way that the passing game has evolved over this generation, the 32 starting quarterbacks in this league are all really, really good. And so if you're not able to hang in, which a lot of these guys will not be able to, they're gonna churn it. They're gonna go find somebody else. And anyway, so I'm with you. I mean, I'd like to see Kyle Trask get a chance, but to me, that ship is almost sailed. I mean, I at this point, I'd be shocked if Kyle Trask ended up starting 6 games in this league, let alone showing that he can be somebody's, answer is a guy that, finally got a chance and showed he can play.
We'll take a break. When we come back, hour number 2, we'll talk about the Gators being 15th in the poll. That and a whole lot more. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
I'm Paul Posluszny, and you're listening to the best Jaguars coverage in Jacksonville on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Homeowners, storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracting. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through August 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harrell & Harrell. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harrell & Harrell make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell & Harrell and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
Get the best soccer talk on the First Coast on the Coaches Show, presented by Sporting Jacks. Cole Pepper, Sporting Jacks head of soccer Mark Warburton, and Sporting Jacks women's coach Stacey Bailey discuss the beautiful game Tuesday evenings at 6 on 1010 a.m. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach, WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Frangie here for Bono's Pit Barbecue. Summer is here, and that means it's time to feast on delicious Bono's St. Louis ribs. The small and large rib platters are at a low price to beat the summer heat, and you get 2 southern sides and garlic toast with each platter. It's an unbelievable deal that won't last long, so head to Bono's today to get your St. Louis ribs platter. I'm hungry now just talking about it. Head to Bono's today, and remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Cleaning Freaks at Zero Res. Back to school special with those guys. Get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135 plus a free hallway and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Book online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and take advantage of these huge savings.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Jacksonville, Hickens calling it. Checkmate Coating, my MVP. Tough, slick floors that dominate any space.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what? What the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 Weight Loss Maintenance Program. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Ideal Conditions Heating and Air. Cam Little's massive leg captured the attention of the entire league when he made the biggest play of the NFL preseason, nailing a 70-yard bomb field goal in the Jaguars' 31-25 loss to the Steelers Saturday night for the unofficial NFL record. Jumbo Shrimp completed their sweep over the Nashville Sounds thanks to a 2-1 victory Sunday and a great pitching performance from the bullpen. It's 91 degrees at 5 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
All right, weekend winnings at all those Best Bet locations Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to midnight. $500 the first 30 minutes, $1,000 the second 30 minutes, all weekend long. That's Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument Road, Best Bet Orange Park on US 17, and, of course, the newest one, that beautiful location in St. Augustine, Best Bet St. Augustine, just off of I-95. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. Frangie and Carline, JJ LaSelva with you as we continue on into hour number 2. The Gators 15th in the AP poll. That about right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, it just is going to depend on how you weigh it as a voter. Are you weighing where you think they'll finish? Are you weighing just simply how good you think their roster is and not paying attention to schedule? So, you know, I'm sure there's a mix of both, obviously. I mean, there's voters that probably base it solely off of talent. And there's voters that look at the schedule and say, I can't vote this team in the top 25. I see 6 losses on this schedule. So 15th sounds about right because they probably have top 10 talent in the nation.
I agree with that.
But their schedule is obviously one of the harder ones. So, you know, you sort of split the difference there. And so, yeah, I think 15th is high. The question that I have for you is, would you go over or under Florida finishing 15th?
Great question.
What's over and what's under?
You mean,
well,
better or worse?
Exactly.
If it better or worse. I'll say they're going to finish higher than 15th. I think when it's all said and done, bowl game, everything's over, I think they'll be in the top 15.
I agree.
What about you, JJ?
I think at one point in the season they will be, but when everything's all said and done, I think they'll be right around where they're at right now.
Okay,
outside the top 10.
I can tell you this, and we've talked about it forever, all off season. I think they've got a really good roster, as good as they've had in that school. I want to say that the roster might be as good as the roster's been top to bottom since the Urban years.
Without a doubt.
Now, they were good in 12. They were good in 20. Tells you how bad they've been. I could cherry pick 2 years, and they've been lousy the other years since 09.
And both those teams were really imbalanced.
Yeah, that's correct. The 12 team was very good defensively. Very good point. The 20 team was very good offensively. But I think it's the best roster of NFL players that they've had since the Urban years. I think it really reminds me of the 84 team. Kerwin Bell was the SEC Player of the Year in 84, the freshman quarterback. But he did, in this day and age, his numbers would have never measured up. He just made enough of the right plays, and he was a freshman, and he didn't mess up, so he was a good player. And love Kerwin.
Oh, yeah.
But they were probably the best team in the country at the end of the year, certainly one of the best 2 or 3. They won the New York Times, whatever thing, because they had 3 first-round running backs that were all physical. They had the best offensive line in the country. They probably had the best defensive line in the country. They probably had as many NFL players as anybody. In fact, the next year, when Auburn and Florida played, for the longest time, it produced the most NFL players of all time in one game. Do you remember that?
I did not.
It was 85. I think it was the 85 game. Might have been the 83 game. I think it was the 85 game. It produced Florida, Auburn, in 85 produced more NFL players. That may have been passed since then. Maybe FSU, Miami passed it in the 90s.
Probably, or Alabama, LSU.
But, right. But at the time, it produced more NFL players out of one game than any game in the history of college football. Now, that was Bo Jackson and Little Train James, and all those guys were at Auburn, and all those guys were at Florida. So that was the 85 game. So I think this roster is like that for 84 roster. I think they're loaded everywhere. I hope Lagway is as good as some people think. You think he's going to be, others think he's going to be. I hope Lagway is what you think. I don't have any doubt that by the time Lagway's gone from Florida, he will have been a damn good college quarterback. I have no doubt about that. Assuming he stays healthy, I have no doubt that he will have been a damn good college quarterback. Will he be generational, Heisman contending, lead him to championships, spectacular in such a way that, oh my God, I can't believe he did that? They can't do it in the Cam Newton way. I don't know if I'm there yet. And when I say that, it'll sound like I'm saying he's not going to be that. I'm not saying he's not going to be that. Does that make sense to you? Sure. I'm just not sure I need to see more. I've seen too much that didn't look like that so far. So I mean, again, he's a freshman last year, but he's already thrown 4 more interceptions than Graham Mertz threw in 2 years there. And again, in fairness to him, part of that's he throws the ball down the field, and Graham was a check down guy. So, but I have and I'll say what I said about him before too. The whole season hinges on games 3 and 4. The whole season. At LSU, at Miami. Win them both and look out. Because then you got an off week and number 1 Texas has to go to the Swamp. Lose them both and look out. Because then you got an off week and number 1 Texas comes to the Swamp. That's the point. So those split them and the season can go either direction. Still could be very good. But the back-to-back games on the road against really talented teams. September 13th at LSU, September 20th at Miami. The season hinges on those 2 games.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. By the way, Graham Mertz, unfortunately, did not have a very good preseason opener. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, he did?
He threw like 3 interceptions.
Did he really?
Yeah. So
he only threw
for Houston.
He only threw 5 in Florida in 2 years.
That did not translate over, at least thus far. Yeah, it was a rough outing for Mertz with the Texans, but it's early. It's preseason. Maybe he'll fare better. They did draft him, so maybe they'll be patient. But yeah. I mean, LSU and Miami is they're. The other thing too is for those 2 games not really being against core rivals, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida State, they're games full of hatred.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
Now I know Florida Miami does have a history, but considering they don't play all that often, like this one, because of what Miami did in the Swamp last year, and on Miami's side, all they've heard is, well, wait until next year, wait until, and so, I mean, it's heated on both sides. And the LSU-Florida rivalry has really escalated over this last decade, really since LSU embarrassed themselves with how they handled the Hurricane. So those games are not only against preseason top 10 teams on the road.
Great point.
But they are games in which the Florida fan base is going to be livid if they lose. I mean, it may be a notch below a Florida State, Georgia, Tennessee loss, but the animosity for those 2 programs, Miami and LSU, has gotten close to the animosity of the Big 3.
Well, the LSU-Florida series is the craziest series ever. If you look at how the shoe throw. I can remember LSU beat them in Gainesville one time. They ran a fake field goal, and the holder flipped it over his head, and it bounced right up to the
Perfect
kicker.
Bounce.
Hey, remember that?
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy.
That was Les Miles.
Yeah. Remember, just flipped it over. I remember Florida won in Baton Rouge the Hurricane year when LSU had clearly the better team.
Right.
And somehow Florida went there in December whenever they played a thing and beat them.
Yeah.
I mean,
goal line stand.
Yeah, the goal line. It's been a crazy, and it dates back way further than that. It's a crazy series. So you're right. They don't like each other very much, and it's a huge game for both. If LSU loses a home game to a team ranked lower than them,
particularly if they've already lost at Clemson.
That's correct. So it's a big game for LSU. And your point about Miami beat their ass. Oh, yeah. I mean that wasn't. I mean,
it could have been 58.
Yeah, that was correct. I mean, Miami. I never saw that coming. I thought Miami. I thought Florida would win. I thought Miami might win. But I never saw them manhandling. I mean, they manhandled Florida. So no one's forgotten that on either side. And by the way, there's the Carson Beck thing, who once was committed to them to play baseball and is from an hour from games. There's storylines all around in that.
And you don't know when's the next time these 2 schools are going to play.
Right.
I mean, I don't believe there's any contract beyond this. And the way that the sport is going, maybe there won't ever be one. Now, they could obviously play in a bowl game or maybe meet in the playoffs, but, that will be something of emphasis that I'm sure Mario Cristobal, Florida Napier has the ultimate, motivator. They killed you last year. They embarrassed you in front of your fans. So, I mean, he's got the easy. If Florida's not motivated at Miami, then Billy Napier is an incompetent fool as a coach. But on Cristobal's side, I mean, he can play the look. this might be bragging rights for the next 20 years. I mean, we have no idea when we're going to play these guys again, and we hate these guys. And so it is going to be both those games. And for Florida, it's a test because they're back to back. So, I mean, I don't know who Miami has the week before they play Florida. Obviously, we know they play Notre Dame in the opener.
I think it's the USF.
Yeah, so
Bethune or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
they'll be able to sort of gather themselves, you would think, a little bit. But for Florida, I mean, to go from Death Valley to then having to play Miami on the road, like that's going to be physically and emotionally taxing.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Hayes has headlines. This is 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing rates as low as 0%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet is the largest inventory on the ground, ready for you to explore. And with their extensive selection, you're sure to find your perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. You get the drill. They've got it, and they've got it waiting for you. And you know, Nimnick will always give you top dollar for your trade. Want an even better deal? Ask about demo models for deeper discounts. The bottom line is this. You head to Nimnick Chevrolet, and you're going to wind up getting a great, great deal. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnick.
1010XL is committed to getting you closer to your favorite players. That's why we send Jags beat reporter Hayes Carlyon to bring you back one-on-one interviews in the locker room, unsealed by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the First Coast focused.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe you got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
Cross are here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
Welcome back to the Frangie Show. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars' Saturday night preseason opener against the Steelers. What stood out to you?
The good is I thought Trevor seemed to be in a rhythm. He was 6 out of 7. I thought they blitzed on the first play. He read it, got the ball out of his hands quickly. I thought there was some rhythm offensively. I liked what I saw. 70-yard field goal stood out to me too, by the way. Defensively, I wish there had been a little more of a pass rush. I didn't like the fact that the starting defense, and again, in fairness, there was no blitzing, there was no stunts, there was no games. Anthony Campanile couldn't do anything himself to make it better. He just had to count on it. But I would have preferred a little better pass rush to start the game for the Jaguars. Those two things stood up.
Liam Cohen had a chance to break down the film from Saturday night's game, and after practice today, he was asked about that defensive operation Saturday night against the Steelers.
It was disappointing to see some of the communication errors that we did have, but also just, alignment, assignment issues, we have new systems on both sides of the ball. It's going to probably take a little bit more than a preseason game to maybe correct some of the things that we wanted to get corrected and play as sound as we would like to play. But I was proud of a couple moments, specifically the 4th down stop when we score a couple plays later on, which was a huge play in the game. And then at the end of the game, when you needed to get a stop in 4 minutes, they stopped the run 3 times in a row, force a punt, and give us a chance to go win the game. So when it mattered, there was some nice plays, some good effort all around, but we need to get some of that stuff fixed.
Yeah, I agree with him. And in fairness to him, he pointed out the stuff that happened in the end of the game. When you needed a stop, you did get a stop. Look, the best thing about playing for the first time together under a new coach, new GM, new regime, new EVP, everything new, is to see where you are. And I think that's what they did. I wouldn't overreact either way too much after game 1.
The Jaguars were back on the field today, a very light workout. Liam Cohen explaining why today was so light.
Alignment, assignment, getting our cleats in the ground when we have a call. On both sides of the ball, fundamentals. We did a 40-play alignment assignment period of just getting the call, getting our cleats in the ground, making loud guttural communication, getting the calls in quickly. That was what we were really kind of focusing on from an emphasis standpoint. Obviously, some of these guys are going to be a little bit sore that played a lot of snaps in the game, so we were trying to really hone in on the mind, got conditioning out of it kind of as well. So that was kind of the thought of today.
Yeah, I think today was let's look at what we did and let's kind of run it back a little bit. I think that's what happened.
Liam Cohen did talk about a couple of injuries. Tyson Campbell day-to-day, undisclosed as to the ailment. And Anton Harrison out today for excused personal reasons.
Yeah, hopefully there's nothing significant. I don't get the sense there is. Right now, if day-to-day usually means you're not going to be out for long and certainly not going to be out when the season gets here. I don't know. I have no idea what Anton's going through, but I wouldn't think there's anything there. And I'm hoping Mason Smith and Eric Armstead can get back on the field. So I think for the most part, it's been a healthy team.
And Liam Cohen did talk about the week in store for the Jaguars prior to Sunday's preseason game at New Orleans. There will be a padded practice tomorrow, followed by a scrimmage Thursday after Wednesday's day off.
Yeah, and I would think, and Liam talked enough about that scrimmage today, Hayes, that there's something, that it's an important practice. I think, the remaining important practices the important physical practices. They're all because you're not going to get physical much before the season, the week of the first game. So I would say that scrimmage. I would say the joint practice with Miami exactly 1 week later. And then whatever you get in the early part of the two games are the 4 most important days left before the season.
I would agree. Let's get it to around the NFL. Shedeur Sanders impresses in a 30-10 win. Cleveland really, I think, had to be pleased with what they saw. Sanders 14-23 for 138 yards with 2 touchdowns and no picks. And he also ran for 19 yards.
Yeah, he looked good. He again, I'm not going to get too high or too low on anybody. He looked good. So I was impressed with him. I was impressed with Jackson Dart. I told you that earlier. No one's talking about him because he's not a newsmaker the way Shedeur is. But I thought the young quarterbacks looked good. Kyle Trask looked good.
Yeah, the Panthers only sat 9 players in that game against Cleveland, so their starters got ravaged by Shedeur Sanders. So something to keep in mind, that Week 1 game, Carolina versus the Jaguars here in Jacksonville, that could be a very high-scoring game if what we saw in the preseason is indicative of what we will see in the regular season. Let's get it to another young quarterback in the division, Titans' Cam Ward, 5 of 8 for 67 yards with no touchdowns and no picks for the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, first time out. I don't know that I'd be either up or down. Again, same thing I said about the Jags. It's one game, it's one time. That will be an interesting storyline to follow, though, because they really, really need him. It's almost the Jags when they took Trevor 5 years ago. He's going to learn as you go, yet how he goes is how they will go. So it'll be an interesting season for sure.
The Titans dealing with an injury at running back. Tajay Spears has a high ankle sprain. He's expected to miss the rest of the preseason, and his status for Week 1 is very much in limbo. That really hurts the Titans because he's sort of a gadget guy.
And he's their third down back.
Yeah.
And with a new quarterback who's going to need to check it down some. Look, the Titans, it could be a tough year for the Titans. There's no getting around that. It really could.
Jackson Dart, as you mentioned, looked good in his Giants debut, had a beautiful touchdown throw, standing tall in the pocket with pressure in his face, and delivered a very accurate ball to little Jordan Humphrey. Really good debut for Jackson Dart.
I loved him in college. I said, and I'm not saying it after the draft. Hayes, you and I do the show together every day. I said before the draft he was a better prospect than Shedeur Sanders, and I still believe that. I really think and I think Shedeur's a good player, by the way. Shedeur, if you're too low on Shedeur, shame on you. I've been joking about how high people were on him this week, but he's a good player. But I love Jackson Dart. I told you this. Other than Cam Ward, obviously, the 2 best quarterbacks I saw last year were Jackson Dart and Garrett Nussmeier. I said that well before the season got very deep in college football. Hayes, I felt that way after the season, and I still feel that way. I think Garrett Nussmeier might be the best quarterback in college football this year. And I think Jackson Dart is going to impact the Giants very early in the NFL.
The Rams were expecting to have quarterback Matthew Stafford back at practice today as he recovers from a back injury, but no go. Stafford was not able to practice. Sean McVay asked if surgery is a possibility for Stafford, and he quickly shot that down. But again, we talk a lot about, Eric had not seen Eric Armstead yet in training camp. Imagine not seeing your starting quarterback, even one as accomplished as Matthew Stafford, at this point in training camp. It's got to be a little bit of a concern.
It is. It's a concern because you don't know how hurt he is. It's not a concern because you think he needs to work. Those are two different conversations. If you're worried that, hey, he still hasn't played, maybe he's going to be hurt, that's a concern. If you're worried he hadn't played yet, he needs to get the rust off, that's not a concern. Matthew Stafford's played enough football that he probably doesn't need any preseason games. But yeah, you're right. The longer someone doesn't practice, the more you worry about how hurt he really is.
The world champion Philadelphia Eagles had a scary injury as standout left guard Landon Dickerson suffered a knee injury in practice. Word today, it's a meniscus injury. He will have minor surgery, could be ready for the season opener. So Philadelphia looks like they dodged a bullet with one of their key offensive linemen.
Really good player, physical. Hayes, he was physical at Florida State. He was physical at Alabama, and he's been physical the whole time he's been in the NFL. Landon Dickerson's a really good football player. He's just a football player, man, and he's a good player.
Let's get to college football. Texas opens as the #1 team in the AP preseason poll for the first time in program history. That stuns me.
It does stun me. Texas is interesting. Texas feels like college football royalty because they're so recognizable. You know all the money. You know Austin. The uniforms look the same as they looked 100 years ago. The logo, the tradition, all right, all that.
Bevo.
Correct. But if you think about it, their football team hasn't been great over the years. This isn't Alabama, Ohio State, USC, Notre Dame, Penn State you're talking about. This isn't Oklahoma or Nebraska. They haven't had those runs. So they've got this great visibility and recognizability, but they don't have great accomplishments compared to some of those other Blue Bloods.
In terms of the schools that we follow close, Georgia is 5th in the preseason poll. That's too low. Miami is 10th. That's probably right where they should be. And Florida's 15th. Probably right where they should be. Overall, the SEC has 10 teams in the preseason top 25.
Yeah, and again, if you take conference out of play, just who are the best teams, they probably all belong there. Georgia, I agree with you. The question about Georgia is quarterback. That's the question. The question is quarterback, and no one's going to debate that. Other than that, Georgia's going to have as good a roster as anybody in college football. I'm completely convinced of that.
Billy Napier met with reporters today in Gainesville and said DJ Lagway had his best practice today. Now, he's still not cleared for everything, but Napier was very optimistic about how his starting quarterback is progressing.
Here's my take on the Lagway thing. If DJ Lagway, he's obviously a tough guy. If he can play like he did the second half of last year, that's good. That means he hit some deep throws, wasn't able to affect the game much as a runner because of the hamstring, was learning as he went, made some bad mistakes, but made some really good plays. The Gators will be fine. If he takes the next step, if he's totally healthy, where he can take off and run, if he's totally healthy where he can avoid sack guys, if the light has gone on enough that he avoids the bad throws, oh boy. So the ceiling is off the chart. I got a hunch watching him last year, watching how he played on one leg, that this floor is pretty high. But if he plays to the floor, they'll be good. If he plays to the ceiling, look out.
Absolutely. Let's get it to golf. Justin Rose outlasts J.J. Spawn in a fantastic sudden death playoff to win the FedEx St. Jude Championship, the first PGA Tour playoff event of 3. The 45-year-old Rose won $3.6 million.
And I tell you, it was great theater on a Sunday afternoon. If you love that Sunday afternoon golf, it was one of the playoff events, so it was very lucrative, to your point. Also, players could get into the top 50 there. They get into the top 30 next week and make it to Atlanta. But I will tell you, watching yesterday afternoon, if you love sports and love golf, it was as good as it got, man. It was, watching them come down the stretch. Down to 2, the playoff, the shots they hit the green every time on the playoff, even though it's the same hole. One making a putt, the other making a putt. It was great theater. It really, it made you appreciate golf even more.
I agree, and it was very sad. Tommy Fleetwood once again squanders a late lead, remaining winless on the PGA Tour in his career.
And you could tell, once again, the pressure got to him. Once again, the putt on 17, where he hit it and stood straight up afterwards, he knew he came out of it. And what's going to be hard for him now is until he gets the first win, it's going to get harder and harder. He's such a great player, he's going to be in position to get it. Now, once he gets the first win, look out, because he's playing as well as anybody in golf.
Without a doubt, Scotty Scheffler tied for third at 15 under. The world number 1 has finished in the top 8 of his last 12 starts.
Listen, it's clear his game's gone to pot. He was one shot off the lead. He wasn't even in the playoff. I think new equipment, new coaching, swing adjustment.
He didn't have his caddy.
He didn't have that. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So there's
there you go. We'll get
one shot off. Yeah. Scotty Scheffler's bad day as he finishes back 1.
That's right. We'll get you out on our musical note of the day. This week, back in 1993, the Breeders released Cannonball. How is this song 32 years old, Frank? One of the most popular songs in the alternative rock 90s movement. Song still holds up well today.
It's a great song, and you're exactly right about that. These songs that aren't all that old suddenly are that old, aren't they?
Yes.
That's what's starting to happen. Good job as always.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. Morning Moment. Stay with us.
Crash on the last splash.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
For over 55 years, Green Acres Sporting Goods has proudly served Jacksonville from the corner of Normandy and Hammond Boulevard. From archery to hunting and fishing, they've got the gear, service, and know-how to get you outdoor ready. Stop by their full-service archery pro shop and check out their wide selection of firearms. And while you're there, sign up for their weekly concealed weapon classes. You can find it all at greenacresporting.com.
Got a leak or a clog? Or are old galvanized pipes causing low water pressure? At Superior Plumbing and Pipelining, we don't just fix plumbing issues. We solve them for good. And unlike other plumbers in the area, Superior Plumbing and Pipelining will never charge you to diagnose a problem. From simple plumbing repairs to trenchless pipelining, our estimates are free. And we can reline your cast iron pipes without making a mess of your yard. You have many choices for plumbing work. Make the superior choice. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. Request a free estimate at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Right now at Beard's Diamonds, pay zero down and get zero interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, you heard it right. That $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. This makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, just $100 a month? Say goodbye to high interest rates. Get the relief you deserve at Beard's Diamonds. But hurry, this incredible offer ends August 31st and will not be extended. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, only $50 a month? Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with zero down and zero interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let our non-commissioned experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center, Jacksonville's premier locally owned jeweler. Shop now and enjoy zero interest financing for 5 years. Hurry, this amazing offer ends August 31st. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS, right here in Jacksonville, is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
Team 10XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We do thank our friends from the Best Bet. Next week, the Summer Swing Series swings over to Best Bet St. Augustine for a $300 no-limit hold'em, $150,000 guarantee tournament. So all kind of fun stuff going on at St. Augustine, or the location in Orange Park. That's on US 17 and, of course, Monument Road here in Jacksonville. Frangie in Carline, JJ LaSelva with you. JJ, you know the Milwaukee Brewers have the best team in baseball, right? You know what they're saying?
They do.
Did you know this? How about this stat? I saw this the other day. They were you know they were 26 and 28?
Oh, wow.
Since they were 26. Do you realize that, JJ? They started.
Oh, yeah. I knew they weren't.
They're
like,
2 under.
Amazing all
So,
season. That's for sure.
After that, Hayes, their next 62 games, they were 46 and 16. 46 in major. Think about that, JJ. To be 46 and 16 in Major League Baseball,
very difficult.
It's almost impossible.
And they have like a very nondescript lineup.
Yeah,
like
they do.
Yeah,
not
from
exactly
a payroll
murderers
standpoint,
row,
are they even like top 10 in baseball payroll wise? Probably not.
No, they're not. And I will tell you. I mean, to ever go 46 and 16 in baseball is almost impossible. How about this stat? I'm a big believer that in today's day and age, you have to hit home runs. I mean that the game's gone to the home run. Okay, of the 12 teams right now that would make the playoffs if it was today, if the 12 teams that would make the playoffs, there's 3 wild card in each league. Of the 12 teams, I got this right. 9 of them are in the top 15 in home runs. You with me? 9 of the 12 are in the top 15 in home runs. The Brewers are 22nd.
Wow.
They don't even hit home runs. You realize that? I mean, the Yankees are number 1 in home runs. The Dodgers are number 2. So if you get the big dollar players, you're going to wind up hitting a bunch of home runs.
By the way, 20th in payroll.
20th.
Wow.
They're right above the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they're like $30 million above Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I mean, but isn't it amazing that
it's incredible. They've got 4 more wins than anyone in the bigs. Their plus run differential is plus 132, which is really absurd considering they don't hit for power.
Right. They're 22nd in home runs.
Yeah.
So what is their record? I don't have it in front of me.
They are 73 and 44.
Okay, they're 73 and 44. They were 26 and 28. So since then, they've lost 16 games. Okay.
It reminds me of the Braves a few years ago, who went on that crazy run in the second half of the season.
It really.
The Brewers have won 9 straight.
So they're now 47 and 6. They're 47 since starting 26 and 28. They're 47 and 16. Are you kidding me?
It's wild.
And a good college team couldn't do that.
Right.
Even LSU, Florida, one of those good years, they don't go 47 and 16.
Yeah, and their run differential is the best in baseball by a good margin.
And 22nd in home runs. It's really. They're an amazing team.
Who's the manager there?
Pat Murphy.
Yeah, it used to be Ned Yost.
Yeah, well, Craig Counsell recently. Counsell was the manager. Murphy was his bench coach. Counsell took the money and went to the Cubs. So the Brewers just said, we'll promote Murphy. Murphy's an older guy. By the way, Pat Murphy is the only guy, literally, the only guy in my lifetime, there's got to be others, but I can ever remember going from head college coach to major league manager.
Oh, wow.
In college football, it happens. College football and basketball, it happens a lot.
Right.
JJ, can you?
College baseball, when you're like a manager there, you're stuck in college baseball for life.
So he was the head coach at Notre Dame. That got him the Arizona State job, which obviously is a way better job because of the weather and whatnot. And then he was head coach at Arizona State. And then the Brewers hired him to be like a hitting instructor or something in their chain. And then he moved up. So Pat Murphy, the manager of the Brewers, was a one-time head coach at Notre Dame and Arizona State.
That's amazing.
And you never hear about that.
So what do you guys think the reason for this is? Just special team? They've just got
they got a few like really good young guys, like Churio or however you say his name is. Terang is good. Mizorowski is awesome.
Yeah.
Sal Frelick is okay.
Yeah, and I told you Quinn Priester might win the Cy Young. He was discarded by the Pirates and the Red Sox. And the Red Sox. The Red Sox didn't like him either. So he was just discarded by 2 teams, and he might win the Cy Young.
And Christian Yelich, who is like, I thought he was washed for like the last 3 years, really. He's not like having a great season, but he's having a very decent season. I think he's hitting like 270, something like that. He leads the team in homers, just a professional hitter, was won MVP before. So just things are coming together, and I don't necessarily think they're going to make a run in the National League playoffs. Wouldn't you say that, Frank? I think this is a team pretty much we're going to have a great run in the regular season. We're going to win the division, and that's sort of our ceiling.
It has that written all over it.
I'd be shocked if they beat the Phillies or the Dodgers or even the Mets.
I would too. I agree with you. If I was betting, I wouldn't bet on them. But it is hard to ignore.
Yeah.
They're 47-16 since starting 26-20. Again, for people that don't follow baseball, that would be the equivalent of an NFL team going 16-1 4 years in a row. Doesn't happen. Right. Nobody does it. So you can't. It's an NBA team going 73-9. It's just stuff that doesn't happen.
They're second in steals with 129, so maybe that's how they've mitigated lack of power. That they're running it better than anybody outside of Tampa Bay.
Well, they've got 6 guys with double-digit steals.
Wow.
Correction, seven guys with double-digit steals. Yelich might still be their best player. Okay, Yelich is the only guy they got over 20 home runs. He's got 21 home runs. He's knocked in 74. So Yelich, even though Yelich is longer in the tooth than he was, he's like a perennially young guy.
He hasn't aged face-wise. He looks exactly the same.
Right, but he leads them in home runs. He leads them in RBI. Christian Yelich is still a good player. But you're right, Jackson Chourio is a really good player.
Yes.
He's a really, really good player. And
he swings at everything, but he's good.
Yeah, so they have Rhys Hoskins, the former Philly, who's a really good player. So they've got, but to your question, Hayes, it's not like they've got a bunch of guys headed to Cooperstown. It's not that. It's just, it's just.
They must just have a really special connection.
And this. That's right.
This group is tight. For whatever reason.
And it is that. Yeah. And it is that. There's no question it's that. But it's an amazing run. It's an amazing run they're on.
And I say that about the playoffs, but if they, it comes down to starting pitching a lot. And if Mizorowski is amazing, Peralta's usually pretty good. Right. And then what's your boy's name? Priester.
All he's going to do is win the Cy Young.
If you have 3 great arms, you can beat anybody in the playoffs.
Have the Brewers ever won the World Series? Did they win it with
I think they lost. I think in 80. I think they lost to the Cardinals in 82.
Didn't they win it with Hank Aaron?
No,
I'll check.
I think in 82 didn't they lose to the Cardinals? I think they were in the World Series in 82. I may be missing a year, but that's the only year I can remember. And I think they lost to the Cardinals in 82.
They've never won a World Series.
The Harvey Wallbanger team, remember that?
Yeah.
In 82.
Because when I was a kid, they were in the AL.
Yeah, that's right. Harvey Keene was the manager, and in 82, I don't know how many games we'll look it up. I don't know how many games they lost, but they lost to the Cardinals.
It was in 5 games.
That's the only time I can remember them being in it.
That's what I'm pulling for then.
Yeah. You know what? It's kind of hard not to. It really is.
My team's out. The team that I,
live and breathe with. My
life's been a living hell for 4 months.
Hold on. So in the 80s, they only played a best-of-5 series in the ALCS?
Yeah, the ALCS and NLCS used to be best-of-5.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, remember now, they didn't even have that until 69.
Right.
And then they had the ALC, and they only had ALCS and NLCS till the mid-80s. So that a lot's changed over the years. So interesting. Great season for the Brew Crew. Back to wrap the program after this.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yankees slugger Aaron Judge is the betting favorite to win the American League MVP, but creeping up right behind him is Seattle's Cal Raleigh, who leads Major League Baseball with 45 home runs. Judge is minus 145 to win the award. Raleigh now minus 110. Jose Ramirez is plus 7,500. Tarek Skubal of the Tigers also plus 7,500. And Bo Bichette is plus 10,000. Shohei Ohtani, the runaway favorite to win the MVP in the National League. The Dodgers two-way star minus 6,000. Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies plus 1,800. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Looking to elevate your game night experience? Look no further than Best Bet. We're not just a card room, we're your destination for excitement, fun, and big wins. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, we have something for everyone. Join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine for thrilling tournaments, exciting promotions, and a vibrant atmosphere that will take your game night to the next level. Elevate your game night at Best Bet. Visit bestbetjacks.com to learn more. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Big Chief Tire is always looking for ways to better serve the Jacksonville community we call home. Lauren Brooks here. Starting Monday, June 16th, they are opening their 6th shop location in Mandarin, providing more Jacksonville residents with a locally owned auto repair business that they can trust. Visit the new shop on San Jose Boulevard today for all your vehicle needs, including brake repair, new tires, and more. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule an appointment today.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Jaguars football is officially back. Be there as number 2 overall draft pick Travis Hunter, quarterback Trevor Lawrence, and new head coach Liam Cohen take the field for the first time during the 2025 NFL regular season. Secure your seats for when the Jaguars take on the Panthers September 7th by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Takaloo has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Takaloo in Jacksonville Beach.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, today on the program, we talked about the Jaguars. We certainly reviewed the preseason game between the Jags and the Steelers. What looked good, what concerned us a little bit. Talked about the fact that they will scrimmage on Thursday. That's sort of a big day for them. We talked about specific details of players. You heard from Bashul Tuten. Hayes caught up with him after the game. And then today, Robert Hainsey, the center, was the subject of Hayes' one-on-one. So Hayes continues to grind through those. We sure appreciate that, bro. Do a good job on all of those. We talked a little Jaguars today on the program. Talked a little bit about the Gators. They are ranked 15th in the AP poll to start the season. We talked about Shedeur Sanders, Kyle Trask, Jackson Dart, how they've done, and even a little bit of baseball, those surging Milwaukee Brewers. And that's where we've been over the course of the program today. We'll talk more Jaguars as we go. Can I count on you, though? And I can go to Kevin Captain if you can't get this done. But I do need you to get my guy Dallas Wilson healthy. Can you be in charge of that?
Week to week.
Okay, because if Dallas Wilson's not healthy, I'm going to be mad at you.
I don't blame you. I will be mad as well. I definitely need Dallas Wilson healthy and soon. But, yeah, when Billy Napier says week to week, I just flip that to month.
Yeah.
So I pretty much have ruled him out on my calendar.
Till November?
Of playing until maybe the cocktail party.
Good.
But hopefully I'll be surprised. I mean, honestly, like he just needs to be healthy by USF.
Yeah.
They don't need to play him against Long Island.
Yeah. But he needs to have played a game before
I would
they go
say,
to Baton
though,
Rouge.
you do want him to get 15 or so snaps against South Florida.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's a huge role anyway, at least to start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they've got nothing in that room.
Right.
That room is pretty loaded.
Yeah.
Now, he's probably the most talented one.
The room's loaded, but it's not loaded with a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. Trey Wilson's been hurt. Aiden Mizell started to come on late. Sturdivant was good, but he was good on the West Coast. You know what I mean? It's not like Badger and DK are back.
Yeah.
And you're working your way into that. So it's a bunch of guys that have played, but not a lot of football together at Florida.
Yeah, Vernell Brown III is starting to light it up. Is the report too? So it's almost like every few days they've got. And again, Dallas Wilson was a 5-star. Vernell Brown III was a 5-star.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's not like these are walk-ons that are where you don't know if you can trust it.
No, and Tank Hawkins and Aiden Mizell might be faster than both of them.
Right.
So they got again. I'll say it again. They have talent in those rooms more than they've had there in many years. But it's not like a team that's played a lot together.
You're probably going to need Dallas Wilson if you have any hope of beating LSU.
Yeah.
in Death Valley in week 3.
Yeah,
so I hear you, but I mean, hopefully.
But there's a lot of guys.
Yeah,
they're not going to be running walk. What was the walk-on that played last year?
Khalil
Number 30.
Jackson.
No, the walk-on, the other the little walk-on guy, number 30, and he played, and the fans were all up in arms because he played in the game.
Klatsky? No, that's basketball. I have no idea.
Alex Klatsky on the little dig route. Remember there was number 30 guy?
Are you talking about Rubio's kid?
No, he was a running back.
I don't know.
Gregory Smith Jr.?
No, there's the wide receiver version of the Spirito.
Was it
Taylor Spirito?
Spirito, yeah. Spirito went out there, and all the fans thought they wanted. Of all the reasons they wanted Billy Napier fired, reason 136 is he played Spirito.
Right.
Remember that? So
I don't think he's getting on the field.
I don't think Spirito's going to. All right, let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Rick Ballou is here. You saw the scrimmage the other night. What stood out?
A lot of good and some bad.
Yeah?
Perhaps a lot of bad.
Yeah?
On the defense.
What bothered you the most?
Mason Rudolph going 65 yards like it was Terry Bradshaw or Ben Roethlisberger.
And having time.
Yeah.
And having time, I think, is probably the concern.
So, that was a surprise to me. I like what they, did on offense, set aside the penalties. But that was kind of interesting to watch. But, all said and done, Jaguar starters lose 7-3 to backups.
Yeah.
So, plenty of room for improvement. And I thought today's practice was kind of unusual, especially those 40 plays they ran. But I will say this, even though I thought it was weird, it feels like Liam Cohen and his staff is trying to immediately identify a huge problem, and that is penalties on offense.
Yeah, and that was a concern. There's no question that was a concern as well. So, all right, we'll see what happens next game. What's coming up tonight?
We got a lot. We'll relive it, and we'll talk everything about what happened on Saturday night, and then as well as today. Also caught up with Wyatt Milam, the rookie offensive lineman who's playing both guard and tackle. So we got all that coming up. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, he got a lot of work, too. He did. Rick Ballou comes up right now. He goes into the night. Folks, that'll do it for our program. Tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, more Jaguar talk, and a whole lot more. We're out of here. For Hayes and JJ, I'm